Welcome to Full Body Yoga for Tension Release. My name is Dr. Robin Armstrong. I'm a chiropractor at Willowbrook Chiropractic in Langley, and I also taught yoga for many years. Today's practice is going to focus a lot on relieving the tension in our bodies, and we're going to involve breath a lot to try and calm down our nervous system. I recommend that you have a rolled up blanket or a towel. It's useful to sit on or to put under your knees if you're sore, or under your knees when we're lying on our back at the end. Now, some of these poses can be done sitting in a chair if you prefer, so you don't have to sit on the floor like I am. But if you are on the floor, I'm going to take my blanket, I'm going to tuck it under my hips so that I can kind of tilt my pelvis off and get a nice curve in my low back so I'm not sitting, rounding, or slouching. Whether you're in a chair or on the floor, let's just all close our eyes together for a moment. And we're going to start to turn our attention to our breath. So first, just take a few breaths, but don't change your breath. Just notice how you're breathing right now. Many times when there's tension in our body, we might have shallow breath. It might be a little bit more rapid. And that's telling our nervous system to actually amp up and increase activity. We want to try and reverse that and try and slow it down. So let's start breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth with a sigh. Do that again, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. And then let's continue just breathing in and out through the nose with the mouth gently closed. And then you can place one hand on your sternum, your chest bone, and turn your attention to your breath entering into that area. So the rise and fall of the chest as we inhale and exhale. Imagining the breath not only lifting the sternum, but also opening the space in between the shoulder blades at your back. So see if you can breathe into the back of the body, creating space in the upper back. Next, let's take our hands a little bit lower onto our rib cage and start to imagine the rib cage lifting up and out as we inhale and lowering down and in as we exhale. Try and feel that. With each deep inhale and each slow exhale, imagining the rib cage opening in a full circle, filling the barrel of our lungs with air, and then feeling that stretch in between each rib, in our abdomen, in our middle back. And then let's place one hand on our belly. And then see with your inhale if you can press your belly into your hand, and then exhale, it moves away. So our lungs, of course, stop before they reach our belly, but it's the rise and fall of the diaphragm which pushes the abdominal organs out into our hand. Now, for some of us with low back tension, we might start to become aware of it when we start this belly breathing, and that's okay. See if you can breathe in to the low back. This is a very safe exercise. It's healthy for your back to move when we're breathing like this. One more breath like that. And then releasing your hands. Good, and just close your eyes again. Notice how you're breathing now. You might even already feel some tension melting away. So it can just take a few minutes of this calm breathing to change our state. But we're going to continue. From here, let's inhale both arms up, looking up towards the hands if that's comfortable. Exhale, bring the hands together, palms come towards your chest, round your spine a little bit, drop the chin. Inhale, straighten the spine, reaching up, looking up if it's comfortable, if not, looking straight forward. Exhale, dropping the chin, hands come through center, rounding the spine, tuck the belly button in. Inhale, long spine, reach up. Exhale, tuck the chin, draw the belly in, strong abdominals. Last one, inhale, long through the side waist, reaching tall. Exhale, arms come back through center, finding that neutral spine. This time we'll add a twist. So let's inhale, arms up. Exhale, twisting open to the side. Inhale, arms up again. Exhale, twisting open the other side. Inhale through center, long and tall. Exhale, twist open. Gently press into your leg to get a bit more of a twist. Inhale up. Exhale, twist. Let's do one more round of that. Twists are an excellent way to move in ways that we don't normally do during our everyday life. Get out some of the tension in our spine. Coming back through center. Good, from here, let's go to our hands and our knees. So I'm going to move my blanket out of the way. We're going to set up our hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, toes are tucked, or the feet can be flat on the floor. So if you've been sitting in a chair, I do encourage you to try and get to the floor, or if it's more comfortable for you to go onto your bed, you can do that there too. And we're just going to arch our back as we inhale, and then exhale, draw the belly in, round the spine, let the head hang. Inhale, lengthen as we arch the back, squeeze the shoulder blades together, top of the head reaches up. Exhale, tilt the pelvis under, draw the low belly in, round through the spine. Let's do one more round of that. Bringing some gentle movement into the spine, releasing any gripping, tension, holding. And then exhale, round once more. From here, if it's comfortable for you, sit back on your heels. If you have knee pain, you can take that blanket again, put it in the crook of your knee, and that will just make it so it's not as quite a deep knee bend. Or you can shift your legs back so you're not as deep in a squat or kneeling position. From here, just bring your forehead down to the floor. I like to stack my fists so my head can rest on my forehead. My hands and my forehead can rest together. And we're going to return to that breathing a little bit. So inhale, feel the ribs expand. They're going to press into the thighs as you try and take that deep breath in. And then as you exhale, they'll move away from the thighs. So feel them press into the legs as you inhale, but also expand through the back body. This is a great position to explore that breathing into the space between the shoulders, into the rib cage. And then from here, let's slowly come back up to all fours, and then we'll find our way up to standing. From standing, let's bring some awareness into our feet. So let's lift and spread your toes and then lay them back down. See if you can find some anchor points. The big toe mound, the pinky toe mound, the inner part of the heel, the outer part of the heel. Just trying to evenly distribute weight. In our feet, try and bring a little bit of relaxation into the feet. So don't grip with the toes, try and let them go, let them be long and relaxed. Slight bend in the knees. Tilt and tuck your pelvis a few times just to find that neutral position. So we don't want to be too arched. We don't want to be sagging under. Try and find in between. I know I tend to arch too much, so I'm going to try and find that neutral position. And then my rib cage, same thing, isn't jutting out. We're going to try and stack it over my hip bones. Let's roll the shoulders a few times, releasing any tension we might be holding there. And then we can inhale, shrug the shoulders up. Exhale out through the mouth. Let them go. Let's do that again. Inhale, shrug up. Exhale, let it go. Good. From here, root through the feet, slight bend in the knees, neutral pelvis. Keep the ribcage tucked. Let's inhale, arms up, overhead. Let's tilt over to the right, feeling that nice stretch down the left side. I'm going to let my right arm hang by my leg. Both arms up overhead. Exhale, drop the left arm, reach overhead with the right, releasing that tension in the side waist. Inhale, back up. One more time each side. Press down through the left heel as I reach with the left arm. And then reaching overhead, I press down through the right heel as I reach through the right arm. And then back through center. Let's spread our fingers wide and then make a fist. And then spread your fingers wide and make a fist. Let's do some gentle circles with our wrists, one direction and then the other. We don't always realize how much tension we hold in our hands. We use them so much. Another time, extend the fingers, make the palms stretch, and then bring them back together. Last time, like that. Good. From here, we're going to do a few standing poses to open up the hips. So we're going to take a lunge position. So I'm going to step 1 foot forward, 1 foot back behind me. I'm going to come up on my toes. Oops. I'm going to bend my front knee and I'm going to press back through the back leg. My heel is pressing back against my imaginary back wall. My hips are tucking under, so I feel an opening through the front of my thighs. Hands can stay at the waist, or we can raise them up overhead, but we're still trying to keep the rib cage stacked over top of the pelvis. And we're going to breathe for a few breaths here. Take about 4 breaths. Deep inhale through the nose, and exhale through the nose, in and out, nice and controlled. Shoulders melt away from the ears. Try not to create any tension. We just want to be long through the side waist with the arms overhead. Then we're going to change things up a little bit. We're going to open up our back foot so that it's 90 degrees. And I'm going to lunge a little deeper, maybe shifting my foot a little bit forward. And I might start to feel an opening through my inner thighs. I might feel sensation in the front of my hip because we're having to actually rotate that front hip. Arms can again stay at the waist, or we can float them up nice and relaxed. And literally we want to feel like they're floating in the air. So there's no tension. They're strong, but relaxed. We can just look forward, or I can look over my front arm. Taking those 4 breaths, nice and controlled. And then let's straighten the front leg. We can turn our heels and face the other side of our mat. So my back toes are now in line with my front toes, but my legs are hip width apart. I'm bending the front knee. I'm tucking the back hip, but then I'm straightening the back leg so the heel is pressing strongly against my back wall in an imaginary way. Hands can stay at the waist, or we can raise them up while keeping the ribs and core engaged. And I'm taking my 4 breaths. Nice, slow, relaxing breaths. And then changing, opening up into our Warrior 2 pose. Making my stance a little bit longer. That front hip is rotating out. Our feet are doing the same thing they did when we were standing. So our toes are still long and lifted. We're not gripping. We're stretching the feet. They're nice and relaxed. Our arms at our waist, or they're just floating in the air. We're gazing over our front hand if we like, or just looking forward. Remember, if you're feeling tension anywhere, the purpose of this practice is to try and relieve tension. So just let that go, change positions, or if this posture doesn't work for you, then you can skip it. Once you're done your 4 breaths, we're going to straighten our legs. You can heel toe our feet back together. We're going to try a breathing practice together. Sometimes this breathing practice can be energizing. So what we're going to do, you're going to just be in a relaxed stance. We're going to coordinate breath with our movements, but we're going to do 3 inhales in a row. Then we're going to do 1 big exhale. So I'm going to do it slowly first, but then we're going to do it a little faster. So we're going to inhale, arms up. Inhale, arms out. Inhale, arms up again. And then exhale, just release the arms, hinging at the hips. Just a little gentle releasing motion. It doesn't have to be a big forward fold. So we're going to try it a little faster. Inhale, 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 exhale. Once more. Good. And just pause. See how you're feeling. I do find that it starts to give me more energy. This is a great one if you are feeling like you want to get things out, or if you're feeling a little bit tired and you want to pick up the energy a little bit. From here, we're going to just go into a nice gentle forward fold to release some of the tension in our back. So if you don't feel comfortable doing this standing, you can do this sitting, and it's a nice way to fold over. I'll show you both ways. So standing, I'm just going to inhale, arms up, bend the knees, hinge at the hips, and I'm just going to let my body hang. I like to grab opposite elbows. I have a generous bend in the knees. We're not trying to prove anything here. And we're just letting the head hang. You can shake and nod. If I was doing this sitting, then I would just start from a nice tall position, and then I would just fold over my legs and let my body hang. Same thing, you can even grab opposite arms when you're sitting. Same pose. Once you feel like you've had enough, you're going to press into the feet, draw the low belly in, rise up nice and tall, and then we're going to find our way down onto the floor or back onto your bed again. So let's come and lie on our back. Let's bend both knees, feet flat on the floor. You're going to hug our right knee in towards our chest. It's nice to hold underneath the knee so we don't put any pressure on the knee itself. And then if it's comfortable for you, you can straighten out the opposite leg. So this is nice. We get a bit of a stretch through the straight leg and a bit of a stretch through the bent leg, relaxing the glutes, relaxing the low back, the hip flexors, and then slowly bend the straight leg, lower the right foot down. Let's switch sides. Let's tuck the left knee in. You can stay here, or you can straighten the opposite leg. Letting everything just melt into the floor, making adjustments if you're feeling tension. And then bending the straight leg. We're going to lower the left foot down to the floor. And then we're going to pick up the right leg towards the ceiling, and you're going to point and flex. Point and flex. So we're just trying to floss our nerve, get some flow and blood flow through the muscles. And now your pose might look different than mine. I'm blessed with short legs and flexible hamstrings, so I can bring my legs straight up towards the ceiling, but yours might look a little closer to the floor. We're just bending or flexing and pointing the foot. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Straightening the left leg, flex and point. And you don't want to feel any strain through the core. The irony is if you're less flexible, it becomes more of an abdominal exercise, so don't put too much strain, or you can reach for your blanket and use that to kind of pull your leg up, or if you have a belt too, it's a bit more supportive. Pointing and flexing, both sides. Good. Let's hug both knees into the chest now. And you're going to take your hands onto your kneecaps and we're going to draw little circles. So we're massaging out the sacrum, going in one direction and then the other. And then we're going to let our knees come over to one side. To the twist. So it doesn't have